Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Nahmaduhu wa nusalli ala Rasulihil Kareem amma ba'd. Okay, so um, now usually when we talk to people, we either talk about something that you should do or you should not do. So if you go back to basics, we've learned this word, this verb, ذهب. Right? ذهب means to, he went. All right, he went. And obviously you have the mudari for it, يذهب. He is going, depending on the translation, yeah? ذهب يذهب. Alright? Now this is saying that he did something. So let's take another example. Jalasa. Yeah? Jalasa. Sorry, that should be there, shouldn't it? Sorry. Jalasa. Okay, jalasa. Yajlisu. Okay, so he sat or he is sitting. He is sitting. Right, these are just examples that you're familiar with, Mazi and Mudari. Now, these are examples of someone doing something. Okay, someone doing something. And the word we have for that in Arabic, or for now, in English, let's just stick to the English for now. These are examples of what's called affirmative. Because they're affirming something. Can you see? Yeah? He is going, he's sitting, he's eating, he's fasting or something. What's the opposite? What would be the opposite of affirming something? Negating, right? So, negating, to say he is not doing something. Yeah. So for example, let's just stick with this one for now. We have here ذهب زيد. Right, what's the translation for that? Zaid went. Yeah, Zaid went. Now if I want to change that, I can say Zaid did not go. In English, right? Just to stick to English for now. Zaid did not go. Zaid did not go. Okay. So we have affirmative and negative. We're going to do the Arabic in a second. Okay. Now the word for affirmative is musbat. Yeah, musbat. Musbat. The word is musbat. Sabata, to affirm something. Tasbeet. You know in the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does tasbeet. How? He gives examples of stories of the prophets in the Quran, which we're going to cover inshallah soon, very, very soon when we do Qasasun Nabiyyin with you guys. And Allah is doing tasbeet, to affirm, to say to him, look, what you're going through is what your brothers before you went through as well. So I'm just giving an example of what thabat. Yeah, musbat. Manfi is the opposite, to negate something. Okay, so you have musbat and manfi. Musbat means to affirm something, and manfi means to negate something, that it didn't happen, it's not going to happen, whatever the translation may be. Okay. So how do we make a verb? How do we make a verb into a negative? We all know what ذهب زيد means. So there's different ways that you can do this. Okay, there's different ways that you can do this. One of them is ma. So we'll just do the basic one for now. So all you do is you add ma before it. Ma can have many meanings, but when it comes before a verb, it's negating. Right? So let's stick to our example here. Ma ذهب زيد. Zaid did not go. Zaid did not go. We're sticking with the Madi for now. Ma ذهب زيد. Zaid did not go. There are many, and this is the beauty of the Arabic language, but we'll stick with ma. So ma is called a harf. Yeah, it's a particle. All you do is put ma before it. You just put ma before the madi. Okay? Ma zahaba Zaydun. So let me give you an example. Ma jalasa Zaydun. What would that be? Zayd did not sit. Yeah, Zayd did not sit. Didn't happen. It just didn't happen in the past. Zayd did not sit. Everybody okay with that? That's the basic one. But notice, and this is what I want you to notice first and foremost, that the ma comes before a particular type of noun. What type of noun? Sorry, a particular type of verb. What type of verb is it, guys? Madi. Right? So here it's coming before a past tense. Ma dhahaba Zaydun. Everybody okay with that? Straightforward. Ma dhahaba Zaydun. Now you have another one. So you can negate things in Arabic in different ways. Okay? Another word you have, or another particle that you have, is called lam. Lam. Okay? Now lam comes before what type of tense now? If we've done the Madi, which one is going to come before? Mudari, right? So for Madi, there's always going to be ma, that's it. For Madi, there's always going to be ma, but now we're going to do all the Mudari variations. Okay, so the first type for Mudari, if you like, is called lam. I'm using a pink color, I do apologize if anybody's sensitive. Right, that wasn't intentional. So lam is negating something. So let's use the example of a verb, because you can only come before lam yazhab Zaydun. Okay. Lam yadhhab Zaydun. Now, this is really important. When lam comes, it negates it, but it negates it in the past tense. So what happens is, the mudari, you translate it now into past tense, right? So how would you translate that now? Zayd did not go. Same as ma. Zayd did not go. Can you see? It's not Zayd is not going. Because the lam has come before the mudari, you're going to translate it in past tense, like a madi. So in other words, lam and ma are almost are the same in many ways, in terms of meaning. Yeah? There's one other thing that you should notice in that sentence as well. Anybody notice it?
You know why is it?
Go on.
Why is it got yad? Why? Yeah, because that would denote present, no?
What do you mean?
That would be referring to past. Yadhabu
Yeah, so
means...
it's not yazhabu though.
Okay.
Yazhab. Yeah. So can you see there's two things that have happened. One is that you make it into a past tense. The second thing is that you make it into a majzoom. Can you see, is that what you're asking me? Yeah? That was going to be my question. Can you see? So it's not lam yadhhabu Zaydan, it's lam yadhhab Zaydan. So when lam comes, it makes it majzoom. Yeah? Lam yaf'al. Can you see? So lam and ma have the same meaning, basically. Ma comes before a madi, lam comes before a mudari. You got that? There's a summary in the book which I'll go through in a second.
But if you're making the sentence, why don't you just use ma the other way?
Yeah, there's a reason for it all, why we use ma and lam. You're right. There's a reason for it, but we're not going to go into now. There's a reason why they do this, and one of them is for emphasis. One of them is to completely negate something. Because Allah in the Quran, when you go through all of this, Allah will make certain very, very subtle points by using the lam and these negations in certain ways. Right? Everybody okay with that?
So when you use lam,
Mm-hmm.
you have to change it to matzum.
Yeah. So you'll get practice in this. You'll just know when you see a lam, it just becomes a madzum.
And always mudari.
Always.
Always mudari. Always.
Always.
I think it's because we always associate Madi to past tense. Now you
Because
say
you
there's
can't
another way
do
of having
Madi,
a
yeah.
past tense without it being.
You translate as a past tense,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Yeah. Right?
What's the substantive difference between the two?
Lam would be the present.
Right now,
Lam is cancelled.
there is none at the moment, but it will come later on. We'll do some example later on. But just for now, you need to be aware of this, yeah? Next one. Let's get number 2. We've done Madi. Remember, Madi's always got Ma before it. You just translate it as it is. So, Ma zahaba zaydun. That's not going to be an issue. Ma and lam, just think of them as the same. Ma and lam. Lam ma, however you want to remember it. Lam ma, ma lam, whatever, right? Whatever you want to do. Then you have another one, which is your friend Ma again. So you've got Ma again. But this time, Ma is going to come before Mudari. Ma yadhabu Zaydun. Ma yadhabu Zaydun. Remember the difference. This is coming before a Mudari. Ma yadhabu Zaydun. Okay. The only thing you need to remember with this one, and we'll get lots of practice in this lesson and the next lesson, inshallah. This comes before a mudari, of course, and the meaning, the negative meaning here, is in the present tense. So, just like ma doesn't change, you know when you had ma zahaba zaydun, Zayd did not go. Here's Zayd is not going. It's as simple as that. So let me write it down. Zayd. You don't say Zayd is not going to go, but Zayd is not going, right? Because you're talking about in a present sense. Zayd is not going. Okay. Everybody okay with that one? So ma and lam are the same when it comes to madi and mudari in effect. But when ma comes before mudari, it's the present tense. Because remember, mudari can be present or future, can't it? Yeah? We're not going to habitual and continuous we were doing before. We're just going to leave that for now. Number 3. And don't worry, I'm just telling you the theory right now. We'll do some practice in this lesson and the next lesson. So we'll get lots of practice on this, inshallah. Number 3. There's one more called la. La normally means no anyway in English. In Arabic, sorry. La, yeah. So, la yazhabu zaydun. Okay. The only difference in this one, it can either be negative, meaning, right, in present or future tense. So if you were going to use this for the future tense, you'd have to use la. Okay? So you can have all 3 translations. Zayd. So the present would be Zayd is not going. Right? Zayd is not going. You could also say Zayd will not go. Or does not go. Zayd does not go into the future. Yeah? This will just take a little bit of just digesting. So I'm not expecting you to remember this today. Okay, it's a lot to take in. So I get that. And the final one. Final one is lan. It's called lan. Lan is a sort of emphasis Allah uses it in the Quran quite a lot. And Allah uses it because He wants to emphasize certain points, it's not going to happen at all. There's certain things, if you think about it rationally, there's certain things like you'll say that, for example, Safwan is not going to eat. That means he might eat, but I've told him not to eat. And there are certain things like Safwan is never going to eat, right? That could either mean that, as far as I'm concerned, he's never going to eat, but he might eat, or it could mean no matter how hard he tried, he's not going to be able to eat. So Allah says in the Quran, when Allah uses these sort of negation, it's like these people are not going to go to paradise. These people are not going to be successful. So Allah telling you, Allah's guaranteeing you. It's a form of emphasis. We say like never, it's never going to happen. But Allah's negation is much more stronger, of course. Okay, so let's stick with this one. لَن يَذْهَبْ. So again, لَن يَذْهَبَ. There's two things to remember here. Let me finish this off. لَن يَذْهَبْ هَبَ زَيْدٌ. Alright. So this is translated as Zaid. You can say will never go or will not go. Yeah? Zaid will not go. He's not going to go. It's not going to happen. You see this in the Quran when you say وَلَن تَرْضَى عَنْكَ الْيَهُودَ وَلَا النَّصَارَى حَتَّى تَتَّبِعَ مِلَّتَهُم. Allah's like telling you it's not going to happen. Right? Just emphasis. So this is a fi'l mudari. The other thing you just need to be aware of is that it's a future tense. Future tense. And can you see it's mansoob? Because the word lan, by nature, when it comes before a fi'l, it makes it mansoob. So lan yadhhaba, lan yajlisa, what's another word? Yajlisu, right? It's yajlisu, but when lan comes, it becomes lan yajlisa. We should give me another mudari, guys. Give me any verb that's لن يكون كان يكون, but when it comes لن يكون يقوم لن يقوم, yeah, لن ترضى in the Quran ولن ترضى, yeah. So لن makes it mansoob. That's a lot to take in there for one lesson. So we're just gonna go through that, maybe try and do some examples, and we'll carry on in the next lesson inshallah as well. Anyone have any questions so far?
You know, if it's لن تنالوا,
لن تنالوا.
so that's منصوب. مجرور or مرفوع, sorry. So how does that?
تنالا تنالا تنالوا. Yeah, it's you're just learning the singular verbs at the moment, but you'll do jama'. We haven't done plurals. Yeah. Everybody okay with that? Any questions? Was that quite a lot? Is that quite a lot to work out?